of the church. This is the back of the church because in earlier years, the front of the church was really that one that people use, but over time you have the taxi stands and all different things that kind of you know make it a little uncomfortable. But the back of the church here is very relaxing and you can easily walk right in. This is a St. Mark's Anglican Church. So who are some of the people buried here? Some of the graves looks very difficult to read. I'm gonna start at the front of the grave of the, the entrance here. And here we have the grave of Charles Edward Pengelley, MD. And I think MD would mean medical doctor. MD. So it's Charles Edward Pengelley. He says born March 22nd, 1888, died July 7, 1966. So Mr. Pengelley, I've heard the last name already, Pengelley. Of course, he was a medical doctor. And beside him here we have another grave, but there's nothing to read. You can't read lawn grass, right? And beside here, I think this must have been a Pengelley. Because over here we have another Pengelley. So, I get closer. And here it says, in loving memory of our beloved father and mother, Lionel Pengelley Kerr and Mary Annie Kerr. Okay. So Lionel Pengelley Kerr and Mary Annie Kerr. So these are Kerr. Uh, it seems like the both of them died the same year because it said died the 3rd of January 1941 and the other one died the 6th of June 1941. So Lionel and Mary died in 1941. I'm not sure why the Pengelley is used in the middle here. All right, behind them we have here. These are persons who died like um, in the 60s. Uh, Here we have the grave of another Pengelley. You see Anna Ethel Nish. I see Pengelley at the top, Pengelley, and then below that I see Anna Ethel or Ethel Nish, Nee Melville. All right, she was born the 8th of June 1879 and died the 6th of December 1964. Anna Ethel. Behind them here we have father and mother. I like the way how this is designed. There. So here we have the mother and the father. This say Theresa Maxwell, wife of William Holiday, died October 26, 1911. And that's the mother. And the father died 1911. Wow. And then the father, it says, in loving memory of William Holiday. Yes, William Holiday. Died July 25, 1918. So he would have died 7 years after his wife over there, um, Theresa. So Theresa died in 1911, and he lived, the husband, William Holiday, lived until July 25, 1918. Wow. Father, mother, they're together. Um, when I first came over here, the graves are not painted up like this. I love the fact that they paint them up. So here we have, it says, to the memory of T. I'm not gonna make this one out, so I'm just gonna leave it. All right, here we have maybe another husband and wife again. Let me see. I don't want to step. Son say in remembrance of our beloved Elizabeth Jane Hardin, who died the 5th of August 1924, age 76 years. Elizabeth Jane Hardin, and beside her we have, says, in loving memory of Margaret, wife of Reverend R. Hardin, died April 22, 1909, age 89. So these are not husband and wife, but Elizabeth over there is a Hardin, and Margaret here was married to Reverend Hardin. So you could have the wife here and the sister-in-law, right? Yeah, I think that's the case. It's very cool over here. It's very cool. People always say cool, cool Mandeville. Cool, cool Mandeville. This church had outlived about three generations, right? In 200 years, you could say three generations. 1820 to 1920, that's 100 years. And from hold on, 1820 until 1920, 100 years. And from 1920 to 2020, 200 years. I'm not sure how much generation you can get in 204 years. But this church had outlived so many people who came here from they were children until they live out their lives and are now some of them now buried here in the churchyard. Here we have, it says, in loving memory of Phyllis Pengelley, 1901 to 1978. Phyllis F. Pengelley. I wonder how it's like this. Why is it like this? There's hardly any room for the rest of the tomb, so I'm not sure. Maybe it's cremated remains there because look at there. There's a grave, right? This is the grave of Margaret. It's right in front of them. Anyway, maybe it's cremated remains there here. This one says in loving memory of Harold Eric Pengelley, 1893 to 1973. Harold Eric Pengelley. So you can see that the Pengelleys were very active in this church. Some of the graves are difficult to read. Some of them, the thing broke right off. Here we have this one. Here it says Cecil Reginald Isaacs, born the 24th of July, 1866, died the 5th of March, 1933, at rest. So this is a grave of Cecil Reginald Isaacs, died the 5th of March, 1933. Wow, that's a long time. That's absolutely a long time. 1933. Soon be 100 years since Cecil died. The wind is very strong up here. I have a strong feeling I might have to, um, voice over some things. All right, I love this one. This. Look at the stone which it was carved out of. I'm sure. Yeah, it was a stone. It says, "In loving, no, in ever loving memory of my beloved husband, no, Ernest Harriet Kerr, who entered into rest January 9th, 1927, age 58." And below it is say, "They are not dead who rest in the Lord, because I live, he live also." So this is the grave of Ernest Harriet Kerr, died on January 9, 1927, at age 58. And beside Ernest, we have Lionel. I love Lionel. I don't know, but guys with the name Lionel always tend to be very nice guys. I hardly ever heard of anybody with the name Lionel who was a serial killer or some kind of bad man or anything. I don't know. But Lionel is just a nice name. So you say to the on his grave it reads, to the dear memory of Lionel Albert Isaacs, BA. What does BA stand for? I don't know. Lionel Albert Isaacs, born August 3rd, 1860, called to eternal life May 19th, 1928. And below that they say he followed where duty led and paused not for blame or praise. I wonder what Lionel was like. Lionel Albert Isaacs, BA. Okay, here we have, beside Lionel, we have his wife. He say, in loving memory of Mary Ethel, so that's Mary Ethel, wife of Lionel A. Isaacs, daughter of M.E. Mirhead, born April 7th, or the 7th of April, 1864, died the 20th of February, 1962. Okay, so she lived a long time after Lionel died, because it says over there that Lionel died on May 19th, 1928. And his wife over here died in 1962. So she lived some 30 odd years, huh? After Lionel's death. And her name is Mary Ethel. Yes. You can see the thing that they used to build her grave, that it's you can actually take it up. I guess if you take it up you could see in her grave, but let's pass over that. Here is this grave. Um there's nothing to read on it. The wind is very strong over here. I think I should continue in that section. I think I should continue in that section. Before going over here. I want to continue in the section that Lionel is and his wife are at. Woo. All right, this is the wonderful grave of Sarah Mackinnon. All right, Sarah lived very long. Let me read her grave. And here it says, in loving memory of Sarah Mackinnon. Sarah Mackinnon, the beloved wife of the Honorable Louise Louis Mackinnon. And they said that she died on the 22nd day of June 8, 1896, age 82. Wow, 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 wow. So she was alive before this church was completed, because if she died in 1896 at age 82, it means that, I don't know, my maths is not that good. So this is the grave of Sarah Mackinnon, wife of the Honorable Louise Mackinnon. Let me see if I find his grave over here. So she was 82 at the time of her death in 1896. Queen Victoria was still reigning in 1896. Queen Victoria was still reigning, man. Jamaica was still a colony of Great Britain. Things were so different back then. So many people were around when she was being buried, as her casket or her coffin was placed here. You know, hardly anything left now down there. But for 82 years, she was on the earth. That's a very long time. Here we are at the grave of someone whose headstone was kind of broken up. I'm not gonna bother to try to read that. Look at this beautiful one here. Look at this one here. This is nice. It says sacred to the memory of the Reverend John Salmon Farquharson. How is it? Salmon is a surname, but it's here. It look like it's a middle name here. It says Reverend John Salmon Ferguson, who entered into eternal, who entered into his rest the 29th of May 1896, age 69. Okay, so Reverend John Salmon Ferguson died on May 29, 1896, the same year as the lady over there we were reading, and he was 69. He was younger than her. And beside him, okay, I'm gonna try not to make mistake. Let me calm down, relax. One of my subscribers told me I need to just focus, right? Let's not rush it. So slowly read. Oh, yeah, I'm just. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm here doing, and this one says, I was interrupted a little while. I think it's one of the pastors of the church. I'm not sure. But he said when I'm finished, I need to come and talk with him. He said, sacred to the memory of Eva May, daughter of the Reverend J.S. Ferguson. That's him. We just read him a while ago. So this is his daughter, obviously. He said, Eva May, daughter of the Reverend J.S. Ferguson, and wife of H.A. Williams of Westport, Connecticut, USA, died on uh, the, the 2 of September 1918. And she was 47 years old. So her father died in 1896 and she died in 1918. So she lived like 20, 22 years after the death of her father. And they're here together. They're here together. There's a Ferguson. The person whose thing here is crushed up is a Ferguson. I don't know if I can read it. It's a widow of. Oh, widow of. Okay. So John, let me see it now. So John, Reverend John Ferguson here, that's his daughter there. So he died in 1896. His daughter died in 1918, and this is his wife. She died on the 23rd of April 1928 at age 96. And her name was Anna Pengelley Farquharson. So she didn't die. She she outlived her husband. She outlived her daughter. All right, let's continue here on the south side of the cemetery. And we're here at the grave of, in loving memory of Frances Annie, wife of Stafford Maxwell of Elfin's Tower, Malvern. She is the daughter of M.E. Mirhead. Anyway, she died on August 4, 1960. Yes. So Frances Annie, wife of Stafford Maxwell. So I assume when I find her death registration form, hopefully I find it, it would be Frances Maxwell. Okay, so she was born on the 16th of December 1867 and she died on the 4th of August 1960. 7 years more and she would have been 100. But she never made it to 100. Okay. These graves are very old. Very old. Here we have the grave of Michael Easton Mirhead, age 91. They didn't put anything else. It's a lovely cross here. And it just says Michael Easton Mirhead, age 91. I don't know. These people over here, beside Mr. Mirhead, we have somebody whose date of death is there. It says, in loving memory of Fanny Elizabeth Wheatle, died October 25, 1910. Fanny Elizabeth Wheatle. She died October 25, 1910. That's a long time. That's 114 years ago. Everybody who went to Fanny's funeral are now dead. Everybody, including those little children who were running around and those in belly, those in hand, they all dead. Okay, here we are. Beside Fanny, we have the grave of Anne Catherine, Catherine Kate. No, Anne Catherine. She was affectionately called Katie, right? Katie. It says, beloved wife of J.M. MacGregor and third daughter of M.E. Mirhead. Remember M.E. Mirhead, Mr. Michael Easton Mirhead, who died age 91? That's him. That's his daughter here. And he said, born December the 2nd, 1871, and died March 13, 1904. So she's the daughter of that man whose date of death is not on his grave, Mr. Michael Easton Mirhead. This is Anne Catherine. Her grave is standing strong. You died in 1904. That's 120 years ago. 100, no, almost 120. It's not December yet, but still 120 years. And this one says, it's a little difficult to read. It says, in loving memory of Flora, beloved wife of William Stubbs, and fifth daughter of the late Thomas Wheatle. She was born 1848 and she died in 1886. She was young when she died. Hopefully, I can find her death registration form. So that's Flora. It would be Flora Stubbs because her husband was Stubbs, William Tubbs. So Flora Tubbs, and Stubbs is spelled Stubbs. Flora Stubbs. Died 1886. Again, everybody who went to that funeral have also died by now. Oh, here was such a different place back then. A lot of these individuals were alive. Well, these are the remains of the individuals anyway, not the individuals themselves. I'm standing here and I can see that I see um, some more Mirheads. Um, Here we have Michael Mirhead, died 1885, and here we have, it says, in loving memory of Charlotte Jane Barclay, daughter of Michael Mirhead, died on the 17th, 1926, age 84. And below that is say, in thy presence is the fullness of joy. So this is the grave of Charlotte Jane Barclay, daughter of Michael Mirhead. Now I believe she married a man called Barclay because they don't refer to her last name as Mirhead. So she must have married a man called Barclay. Charlotte Jane Barclay died age 84 in 1926. She lived a long life, a very long life. Whenever time you can live until your 80s, long life. We are looking here at the Wheatle, some Wheatle. This one says, in loving memory of Wentworth S. Wheatle, who died on the 9th of May, 1884, in the 49th year of his age. So Wentworth Wheatle, that's Wentworth S. Wheatle, died age 49 on May 9, 1884. And beside him, we have another Wheatle. It says, in loving memory of Mary Wheatle, born December the 20th, 1812, died March 6, 1878. So she was in her 60s when she died. So here we are at the grave of Anne K. Mirhead. Anne K. Mirhead, second daughter of Mary Wheatle. Uh, I don't know. That would be her over there, Mary Wheatle, and so and they say and the wife of M.E. Mirhead. Remember we read about Michael Easton Mirhead. This is his wife, Anne K. Mirhead. She was born on June 23, 1839, and she died on December 2, 1871. So Anne K. Mirhead, daughter of um, Mary Wheatle, that's Mary Wheatle right over there. Hi, Mama. And she is also the wife of Michael Easton Mirhead. She died young, so and Michael Easton Mirhead died at age 91, so he must have outlived her. Yes, he outlived her. Here is a grave. Oh my God, this looks so old. Say, in loving memory of Bessie Biggs, died on March 14, 1906. And below his date of death, it is saying that 75 years faithful service in the Wheatle family. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe Bessie Biggs was a male. Look at it. I try to find his death registration form, but they are saying he's 75 years service, 75 years faithful service in the Wheatle family. Not sure what that means. If he was a employee or something. Uh-huh. Look at this grave. This grave lasts long, you know. Say, in loving memory of Mary Hill Goodwin, died April 30, 1925, age 92. You hear how long she lived? Age 92. So she died on April 30, 1925, age 92. And below that they said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Beside Mary, we have the grave of Beside Mary, we have the grave of Stafford Maxwell. I have a feeling that Mr. Stafford was a businessman. Alright, so it says, "In loving memory of Stafford Maxwell, who died on February 11, 1935, age 72." And below that they say, "Now we see through a glass darkly, but then whatever." So this is the grave of Stafford Maxwell, died February 11, 1935, age 72. I won't be reading a lot of graves here today. So look at this grave. This person is probably completely forgotten. My God, there's not hardly anything there, just rubble. I wonder, you wonder what was that individual like prior to death. But that was somebody who was walking around. I'm going down here and I see the graves of the Moss. I see over here Louis Moss, and beside him over here is Lillian Moss. Let's start with Lillian, right? In loving memory of Lillian Moss, born the 9th of August 1892, died the 24th of July 1962. Lillian Moss. So she was about um she was maybe about 69 when she died. And over here, the other Moss died the same year. You say Louis Moss, in loving memory of Louis Moss, born the 8th of December 1886, died the 28th of December 1962 at rest. He was he was in his 70s when he died. Yeah, he died on the 28th of December 1962, the same year as Lillian. He was born in December, died in December, the same year 1962 as Lillian Moss. Were they husband and wife? I'll do my research and find out. It's a big cemetery here. Do we say cemetery in a churchyard? No, I don't think you say cemetery. You say like graveyard. I think that's what you say, right? Yeah. Look at this church. Uh, Man, this church is standing up. So many people come here, so many people went. So many people came here, so many people went. I can't read this, Dave. I definitely can't read this name. It say, "In affectionate memory of our beloved husband and father," and that's the name. I don't know if that is Tewfik S. Josephs, who passed on to higher service March 20th, 1960. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Here's some Robinson. Here's some Robinson. We have Kitora Robinson here. And over here we have Isema Robinson. Let me start with Isema. In loving memory of our dear sister, Isema Robinson, departed this life the 21st of November 1973. Okay. And Kitora, in loving memory of our dear sister, Kitora Robinson died the 19th of March 1983. I was just a little baby at that time when Kitora died. I was just a little baby. Oh, 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 oh. Look at this, man. Look at this church. Standing over 200 years. Standing here. And 200 more years to come, it will still be standing because it was built to last. It was built to last. The breeze is lovely over here. It's a nice place to just come and relax. Like a nice place to just come and relax. I see this grave way over here. It says, before I go to that, here's one. It says, in loving memory of our dear mother, Francis Adina Davis, 1907 to 1988. Francis Adina Davis. Here's a big one. This is going to last very long because they carve it into it. A.R. David James. March 4, 1959 to January 21, 1989. 1959 to 1989. That's, oh Lord. My word, that he was like 30 years old, right? Oh, he was young. He was young boy. He was a young guy. He died really young, 1959 to 1989. You do the maths. He was young when he died. Very young. All right, guys. So this is my tour of the graves here at Mandeville Parish Church. Hello. In loving memory of a wife and mother, Princess Thompson. No, that's not Princess. That's, what's that? I don't know what that is. Berries. Looking good, madam. This must be husband and wife. Robert Stanley Nita, died June 5, 1993, and Ina Nita died January 2, 2002. All right, guys. So again, I say this has been my tour of the Mandeville Parish Church graveyard. So many are buried here. I'm not sure. These look like these are just headstones. So they must have been um, these must have been cremated remains. I see this over here, and the name sounds familiar. Reverend Dr. Keith S. Panton.
Leaders and citizens must operate in a partnership towards common goals if the development process in Jamaica is to succeed and to succeed in a sustainable manner. So what are the issues?
Loving husband, father, and grandfather. November 2, 1935 to February 18, 2015. Reverend Dr. Keith S. Panton. So many of these people. Look at that. You know, monuments to the dead. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'm keep saying this. Thanks again for watching. And I will be coming to. I'm working on a very special video. I'm working on a very special video, and you will know about it when it is ready. This video is special because nobody else had done it, and I'm gonna be working on another special one again. So look out for that. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button because there are a lot more interesting videos to come. I'm going to be heading somewhere. I'm not gonna tell you where I'm going. I'm not gonna do that. I kind of like no, I shouldn't be doing that. Don't say where I'm going. This is the newer part of the cemetery here at Mandeville Parish Church. You can see here, this part is where you have recent graves. You can see there are recent graves here. And this is the grave of Curtis. So Anita died in Anita died on November 18, 2018, and her husband died on June 27, 2024. Look at them here. Curtis and his wife, Anita. They died not too long after each other, but they were born in the 30s. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I see you again in another very interesting video. Mr. Porter. Hello, sir. Alright, see you guys. Peace out.